Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for tonight's event as we celebrate the Chinese American Museum's 17th birthday. And welcome to the ABCs of Storytelling through Photography. I am Michael Trung, and I'm the Executive Director of the Chinese American Museum. Before we begin, I'd like to let you know a couple of things. First, this program will be recorded for archival purposes and will be made public for viewing in the future. If you'd like to not appear in the recording, please turn off your video. But if you don't mind being on the recording, please keep it on. For the best experience, we ask our participants to choose speaker view. This is an interactive workshop and everyone is welcome to participate again by keeping your video on. We do kindly ask that you keep yourself muted unless prompted by the speaker to unmute yourself. To participate in this workshop, you need a device to take photographs and a toy or an object to practice with. My object for the day is the shark. I'd like to also acknowledge the Friends of the Chinese American Museum Board and Advisory Council members who are logged on for tonight's program. For tonight, I have the privilege of welcoming a special guest for this evening, Karen Zhou. Karen Zhou is a documentary photographer from New York City who focuses on storytelling through photographs. She's an award-winning recipient of the Asian American Journalists Association Photo Shootout in Los Angeles and was recognized by Nassau County Legislator Judi Bosworth for her photography of the Asian American community. Her photograph have been exhibited at Gallery 456, the New York Arts Center, the Ring Loop Museum, and is part of ThinkChinatown 2020 Chinatown Arts Week. Additionally, her work has been published in the National Geographic holiday around the world, Celebrate Chinese New Year, and Chinatown Lens on the Lower East Side. She's a past contributing photographer for AsAmNews, as well as other ethnic publications. Thank you, Karen, for being here tonight. I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm so excited to be here today, particularly on your 17th anniversary. Happy birthday. And I want to wish everybody a happy holiday as well. I hope you are staying safe and as well. Today, I'll be talking about the ABCs of storytelling through photography. And two of my subjects are actually sitting right next to me. So I have, in the spirit of the holiday, Santa Bear and his helper, Greenie, because he likes green. So they will be in today's presentation. So let's start. So first off, what is a story? We hear stories all the time. So a story is a series of events or a single event that is either real or made up. So it can be either one or the other. What are different ways you can tell a story? Well, there are many ways you can tell a story. One way is to write it down, right? So I have my book and got the story once upon a time. Another way is to talk about the story, share it with someone. So I call up a friend, send an email, see a friend, and say, hey, this is what happened the other day. So I share my story. Another way to tell a story, and you probably already know it, is through photography, taking a picture. So here in this cartoon, you see this little boy, he's taking a picture of a mushroom with the ladybug on top. So there's a lot going on. Maybe the ladybug's gonna come down the mushroom, but that's the story. Next slide, please. Okay, here we have 4 photos, and the first image, image number 1, is of pig racing in New York's Chinatown. This was for the Chinese New Year's, and the host organizer for the parade decided that it would be an excellent idea to have pigs come out and race for the Year of the Pig. Many of you probably, if you go to a farm, you've probably seen a lot of pigs. They're not that active. They like to eat and sleep, but these these pigs, they had quite a workout. So pig dressed in green, in a little green outfit, was a head faster than the pig in the red outfit. And so the pig in the green outfit was the winner for that race. The second photo is from Chinese New Year's. And if you've been to Chinese New Year's, you probably remembered all the floats and parades, the lions and the dragons, the costumes. It's a very festive time of year. And one of the most fun part, especially as a kid, is of course getting to play confetti after the parade. There's confetti on the floor, there's confetti that your parents can buy. And so with these three kids, the parents bought a bunch of confetti tubes that they were able to turn and they pop in the air. So they had a grand old time trying to catch the confetti. And it was very memorable moment. The third photos is of kids having fun. This was at a birthday party, and the kids are trying to blow and make sound to wish the birthday girl a happy birthday. So, and the last photo is from another birthday party. And you probably guessed it, you see the cake. That is Cam's 5th anniversary when it turned 5. And you see all the guests gathered around the cake, the special VIP, those are the important people. They're getting ready to cut that cake. And it was a very special and memorable day, particularly for all the guests and friends that came. So what does all these photos have in common? Do you know? I guess backtrack, if we could backtrack that. What do they all have in common? Right? These are all photos that focus on celebration, right? That every photo is about celebrating something. Even the pigs, the pig in green came out the winner. So good photography can capture celebrations, and they can last forever. So always remember, when there's a moment for celebration, don't hesitate to take the photo. It will last for a long time. Next slide. So we're moving to part 2 of the workshop, and this is more hands-on. So first off, we're going to talk about what is photography. You've probably seen a lot of kids take photos, right? This cartoon, kids using a cell phone, or you can, here's my cell phone, and I could do they call it a selfie. You can also use a camera, this is a digital camera, or a tablet. So what is photography? It is a way to make a picture using a camera. Next slide, please. Okay. What makes a good photo, right? There's different elements to making a photo good. First is the subject. So here, earlier I introduced my Santa Bear and Greenie the Helper, and they are my subjects. In order to make a photograph beautiful, you have to understand your subjects. And you have to be able to talk to your subjects. So if it's a person, you can tell your subjects to look at you, or turn, or tell them they're doing great. If the photo is, if they're nervous. So we generally talk to our subjects. If it's an object, you don't really get to talk to them, but you get to move it around. So subject is very important. Next slide. Another aspect of photography is perspective. And that's the way that we see things, our viewpoint. Perspective is the spatial relationship within objects in an image. So what angle we're looking at things. So we have various perspectives. The first image that you see to the upper left-hand side, that's a wide angle, right? So you see both Santa Bear and Greenie. You see them completely. The second image is a close-up. So you move in closer to the object. So I'm just gonna show you with my cell phone. So this would be a close-up. Wait, okay. I think I can only hold one at a time, otherwise both of them are gonna fall. Okay, so I'm gonna test out Santa Bear, who is my subject here. And so if I want a close-up, I get closer to the object, to the subject. And if I want a wide angle, I go further away, right? So I step away. And in certain cameras, there is a zoom button that allows you to go in and a zoom out button that allows you to go back, okay? But for the purpose of showing you via my cell phone, we'll just go in closer and we'll step back. And when you take pictures, just remember to focus on what you're looking at and also pausing so that it's not going to shake. The third image, okay, so the third image we're looking at is, you see to the bottom left is Santa Bear and Greenie sitting on the sofa. So they're right here. Can you see? Okay, I'll just tilt it down a little bit. So they're sitting down. That perspective is it's a bird's eye view. So when you're a bird, you're flying high, and when you look at something, it's looking down. So it's perspective from a high point looking down. So that's how I got that picture, is that I aimed it from a higher height looking down. And the last perspective is from a low point. So imagine you're an ant, right? A tiny little ant on the floor. The way you see things is going to be different because everything's going to look bigger from an ant perspective if you look up. So I'm thinking like an ant, taking a picture like an ant, and looking from the bottom, looking up, okay? And so that actually makes the feet much bigger, right? Because whatever comes closer will look bigger. So those are 4 perspectives to keep in mind. Those are different ways that you can take a picture. I'll just set my subject back down here and we'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about lighting. Lighting makes photography important too, so we have to keep that in mind. And these are 3 examples taken from my New York City apartment, courtesy of Santa Bear. So lighting is important. I'm going to give you some examples using this flashlight, okay? So can you see the flashlight? Can you see it hitting the bear? So if I'm closer to the bear, it's very, very bright, right? You see Santa Bear's face is like, it's super bright. But if I go further away, you don't see that bright spot, right? So the closer I get, the closer that Santa Bear gets to the flashlight, it's very, very bright. So it's the same concept with in terms of photography. If you want your subjects bright, then they have to be in front of the light. But there are different ways. There's side lighting. Okay, so taking it from the side. So you see this? Okay, you take it from the side, you see only half the light, right? It's only on one side, but not on the other half, right? So, and if I go this way, it's only on this side now, but not on the other side. So oftentimes side lighting is used when you want to create a mood, right? If you want a little bit, I don't know, mysterious, or you only want to emphasize one aspect, you can use that. So what I did was with side lighting, I had my Santa bear, the third photo to your right, that was right next to the window. So one way you could test it out is to put your subject by the window and take it from the side. And you'll see that the light comes in the most from one side. It's a little darker on the other side. Another example of lighting, and you probably see this a lot when you're outside and the sun is hitting from behind, okay? Right now I have a lot of lights on, so it's not gonna give you that example, but you can see in the middle picture, this is when the light is behind you and the subject is in front. So when the light is behind you, it's brighter. So it's gonna make the subject in front a little darker. And to compensate for that, you can turn on a flash, okay? And when you turn on a flash, then you add more light. So it's not gonna, so the backlighting then can kind of be balanced because you have the light in front. So just keep that in mind, because sometimes when you take a photo and you see, wow, what happened here? It could be because of light. So remember where your light source is coming from. The first photo, which is to your left, that's of Santa Bear. And what I did was I placed him on a chair and facing the window earlier today. And so the light was hitting his face. So you see that it's fully bright. You can see him very clear. So that is how lighting works. So always think about light source, where it's coming from. It could be from the side, from the top, to your left, to your right. And in studio photography, they have strobes and umbrellas to diffuse the light. And if you have your subject here, you might put two lights which is really hard. Let's see. And so it's even brighter, and you control the intensity of the light so that it can come out the way that you would like it to be. So those are different examples of lighting. For the purpose of today, we'll take lighting using either a flashlight or wherever your light source is. So if you have a lamp that's nearby, you can use that to test it out. Next slide, please. So let's get creative. Now that we talked about the three elements that can make up a great photograph: subject, perspectives, and lighting. Photography is about being creative and showing other people how you see. So let's get creative. Are you ready to begin? Okay, here we go. Activity. Please find a toy object using what you learn about perspective and also about lighting. Take 10 photos of your toy objects that are all different. Let's take 1 minute for this activity. We'll have a camp staff do the countdown. Let's begin now. Okay, and as you work at home, I'll also be taking photos along with you. So using my subjects, Santa Bear and green. So we talked about earlier perspective, right? So close-ups, so we're gonna do a few close-ups. Let's see, I think this might be good. So we're gonna close-up of Santa Bear. Oh, you look wonderful. Okay, ready for your close-up? Yes, okay. And we'll do another close-up of Santa Bear's helper. Wow, you look marvelous. Okay, turn to your left and your right. All right, so now we're gonna do wide angle. Right, we talked about doing a wide shot, so we have to go further away. And so I'm gonna situate them on my little sofa here so you can see them. And we're gonna do a wide shot. So I'm gonna go far, and all you have to do is step away and, you know, focus on what you want to take a picture of and press. And
all right, 1 minute has been up.
wow, 1 minute already.
That went really fast.
That did go by fast. How did everyone do? Would you like to share? Do I see? I guess if you want to share, you can just raise your hands, or you can unmute. And so these are photos. If you look at this slide, these are photos that were taken earlier today. So it incorporates the various perspectives, the close-ups, the wide angles, the bird eye view, and the low angle positions. How's everybody doing out there? I know that was fast, like 1 minute. I only did 2 in my photo shoot. I'm sure you guys were just warming up and getting to work on your photos.
Fiona's ready to share.
Oh, awesome.
You want to share? She took a wide shot of her little toy.
Oh,
There.
let's see. Wow, that's so awesome. I love it.
Good job, Fiona.
Great job. Oh, look, Gay has one too. Oh, thanks. Yes, please show us all your photos. Oh, that's a wide angle shot. Look at that. Oh, and with your pup, very lovable eyes. And wow, is that a toy? Toy. That's a huge. Wow, that's a huge 2 cars.
Wow.
Karen, like
Wow.
I did my shark.
Awesome.
So
You did your shark.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Melody.
Hey, Melanie.
Melanie.
Hey. Wow, that is amazing. That's a great job. Can somebody share what you like about the wedding? Oh, that's a nice crochet. What do you like about your photo?
I cheated and I have a little light source here, so I was able to light up my my shark properly.
That's awesome. Well, that's a great light. That's a great light that you have. Definitely put the spotlight on your shark.
And And then Gay has a light source that she also has next to her desk too.
Wow, you guys came prepared. That's awesome. Well, thank you all for sharing. I hope you had some fun. 1 minute is, of course, never enough. And so just keep shooting away as I talk. Don't, continue. So we're going to move on to the next section. Okay, so here are some examples we just talked about earlier. Of course, I can't show you everything I was taking before while I was doing this photo shoot, but I want to give you an example of what that looks like. So we did a close-up of the bears, and we did a wide angle. We have a bird's eye view, so you're standing up, looking down, and that's also good for food photography. A lot of times the food is on the table, so it makes it easier. But think about how a bird, when it's flying, this is the angle that they will see the world from the high perspective looking down. And of course, the last image you see here is our ant looking up, right? So that's from the low angle. Next slide, please. Okay, so now we're going to tie it all in. Now that you have all these photos that you've taken, one good way to remember our stories and to have some fun, because I think these days everything is digital, right? But it's always nice to have something that you can hold on to, like a book. So it's creating a scrapbook. What we do is we're going to gather all our pictures that we took, and then we're going to print out the pictures. And you can organize it by date. So it could be older pictures to newer pictures, or you can organize it by theme or topic. So it could be a birthday party that you want to collect all the birthday party images over the years. Like Cam's going to do one day. And you can also have it by, theme, like it could be a retirement, it could be anything. Describe your image. So that's what they call caption. Put a caption on it. So the picture could be about grandma's birthday, right? If that's what you took. And remember to add stickers, glitter, ribbons, and quotes. So what I have here is, okay, so I have a little example. I have paper that you can buy. They're cardstock paper, and I think you can get it in any arts and crafts store, and they can be really good background for your pictures. So you can pick out the different background prints. And so I went to China about, must be more than 18 years ago with my parents. And I guess it was the first time that they ever went back for a long time. So it was interesting because we really weren't too familiar when we went back, and so we took a lot of pictures. And so here are collections of a few photos from that trip. And what we could do is we could pick, you could pick a background, and see, this is my aunt, and so you could put it up, and you could find like stickers, okay, just randomly. You can put stickers, and you can create a nice scrapbook page. It's see, this one is of a man pulling a cattle in a countryside, and there's woman washing, I believe, clothing right by the water. And, well, right in the water, I'm sorry. And, you know, there's a lot. There's a lot of photos that we kept and had printed after the trip. That's my dad trying to take a video. So there's a lot of fun photos, and so we collect all your photos and you think about where you want to place it. There's no right and wrong way of doing it. It's a good way to tell a story and remember your trip or remember a celebration. And you know, don't forget your stickers, and there's a lot of stickers. There's quotes. You can get quotes. There's lettering. Okay. And so that's what you could do. And it'll be a lot of fun after you take all your pictures. Next slide. Okay, so here's an example. This is from Chloe's first birthday. And these are a series of photos that can tell a story. So with photography, you can have one picture tell a story, or you can have a series of photos tell a story. And in this particular case, Chloe's birthday, there's more than one photo that can tell about her party. So there's Chloe. The parents created a little guest book album, and so that was the first photo I took. And don't forget, when you're at a party, to take a picture of the party scene, the location of that party, what it looks like, the balloons, the people. So the second photo is from the party. The third photo is Chloe's cupcakes. It says happy birthday, Chloe, and it's taken from a bird's eye view. And the fourth photo are gifts that guests gave to Chloe, and these are you know, something that she'll remember later on. So it tells a story from her birthday. Next slide. Okay, here we have Chloe's parents. They're blowing out her birthday cake. And it's an interesting cake because the cake is, it's a cupcake with with a candle that says one. The next photo is of a child, and he's having a cupcake, and you can see a little chocolate around his mouth. So having a very good time at Chloe's party. And the third slide is Chloe's grandma, and she's giving Chloe a cupcake. And Chloe's like, what's this? And the fourth photo is more of Chloe's guests. So everyone gets a cupcake here at her party. And this little girl is very, very happy because there are a lot of cupcakes right next to her too. So there's one on her plate, and she probably can choose to have more cupcakes. So that was the day of the party. It was actually a lot of fun, and the parents can look back, and Chloe can look back one day and remember who came and what they did. So for storytelling, there's three elements. There's people, places, and things. So just remember to capture the people that are there who are your guests. What are the expressions on their face? Are they having a good time? If they're blowing out the candle, if they're giving a speech, if they're opening gifts, and then thinking about place, where did this occur? You might want to do a wide angle shot to see what the venue looks like. And you might want to take close-ups of certain things, like decorations that you see. And there's things like the gifts that the guests give to Chloe. It could also be gifts that Chloe's parents got for the guests. And also the most important at a birthday party, of course, is the birthday cake. So remember to take a picture of the cake. In this particular case, it was a lot of cupcakes. And everyone was able to enjoy at least one cupcake at this party. So just remember those three elements. Every photo story has a beginning, middle, and end, just like a book. And so when you finish taking the photographs, you should be able to piece it together in some order from start to end. So that's an example. Next, please. Okay. What I'd like to emphasize is that when you're first learning to take photography, don't worry about anything. Just keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. So what you like about a photo and what you don't like about a photo. I would recommend looking at different photos that you like and why you like it, and also photos that you're not sure about or you don't like, to change your perspective, to change the lighting. And so you have to practice to make perfect. And next slide, please. So I hope that you can all have fun. I believe you can do it. And just looking at your subjects, make them beautiful, okay? So just remember that you have what it takes. And so I want you all to continue photography. I recommend the National Geographics for Kids as another resource that you can go on to. There's a lot of information about photography there as well. So this is just a beginners, but if you would like to learn more information, I would suggest going to that site as well as other sites that have information for kids. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen, for joining us today on this. I know that you have been an avid photographer for many years, and you have been taking a lot of photographs throughout the community of New York City and the festivals. And we'd love to have you show some of these slideshows now, and then perhaps you could talk maybe 1 or 2 seconds about some of the slides that we see.
Yes, thank you, Michael. I've been a pretty avid photographer, shooting for the last decade and a half. And here are some of the photos. This is from Chinese New Year's. This is a photo that you saw earlier. 3 kids having fun, playing confetti. And that photo made it into the cover of a book that focuses on Chinatown Lens on the Lower East Side. Here's a photo from kids that are playing during Lunar New Year's. It's a very candid shot. This is just before they go on stage. So they're just relaxing right now and having a great time. This is a photo of kids that are getting ready for the parade. And so with line dancing, you have to have a head and a tail. So the child that is holding on to the, that's in the lion head, and there's a child that's holding on to the tail. So they're about to begin. This is a photo of a music group. You have the drummers. You also have the woman in the front leading the group, and it's cultural music that they are playing. And red is the favorite color. Red is the color for auspicious color for good luck, and so that's why they're dressed in red. And here's another shot. This is from
Karen,
yeah.
sorry. For whatever reason, some folks are not seeing the screen sharing, so maybe we could just pause it real quick. And Angela, maybe we could take off screen sharing and add it back in.
Sure.
Here we can see the photograph.
Is that better?
Okay, is this better? Can everybody see it?
Okay, great. Yes, I see some heads saying nodding yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, so we're back on track. So this is a photo again, also from Lunar New Year's. It's the excitement on the kids' face, on the adults' faces as well. So always look for expressions. Something exciting is about to happen, and also you see the confetti flying in the air, so you know that this is a very festive mood. Next slide. And here we discuss the year of the pig racing in Chinatown. Probably comes once every zodiac years in the year of the pig. So it'll take a while before we get to the year of the pig again. And this is from Cherry Blossom Festival. And here you have kids, they're dressed in the traditional, the kimonos in various colors, and they are dancing to music. And this one is from the Obon Festival. And here you have taiko players, and they're strong. I mean, when they hit those drums, you can feel your heartbeat because that's how good they are. So this is them performing at Bryant Park in New York City. And here, this is from the Korean Day Parade. And the kids are very patriotic. They have flags draped around them, and these three girls are best friends. So I asked if I could take a picture of them, and I did a wide angle shot because I wanted to get all three in there. Next. And this one is from Thai New Year's, and these are monks, and you see to the very front there are gifts. So the attendees or the participants that come, they're supposed to give gifts to the monks, and they are also supposed to provide some offerings. So here they're offering water, they're pouring water into the palm of the monk's hands, and they're doing all sorts of rituals to bring in a good year. And here is from the Indian Day Parade. These are girls dressed in the traditional sari dresses, and they have their hair and makeup, and they're just having a good time. It was a candid shot from a distance. And the last slide, this is from the Pakistani Independence Day Parade. And they, it was a very hot day, and you have two dancers, and in the background is someone playing the drums. They really got into dancing, and I believe this is Bhangra dance, and it's quite intense as they dance because they're moving around quite a lot. And so if your subjects are moving around, you have to also be conscious of where they're moving, and although you should also move around if you can. If you can't, if you're more in a stationary position, then look for the best angle. So those are from the various parades that I've taken over the years.
Thank you, Karen, for sharing this. I just want to ask the audience if they have any questions for Karen. You can either put in the chat box or you can unmute yourself for the day, and then you can ask your question over Zoom. So Karen, one thing that we haven't was able to discuss is compositions of photographs. I know, a lot of it is the technical sides of photography, but sometimes it's also the eye of the photographer and in regard to composition. Can you kind of discuss that a bit?
Sure. Well, if you want a good composition, it's about framing the photograph. So if, let's say this picture that was taken in China, I'm looking at the background, which is this the structure here, and I really wanted to find a way to frame it, but I saw these plants here. So again, this is about perspective. So I decided that I was going to do a wide angle, but have some of the plants frame what I want to focus on in the background. So,
does anybody have any other questions?
I'll ask one. This is Gay. Karen, how are you?
hi, Gay.
I noticed with some of the photos, and that's always been an issue with me, is the background that you don't want in there. For instance, especially when you're doing a wide angle and you have your subjects that you want to capture, then especially in crowds where, as you're shooting, there's inevitably something in the back that you don't want there, or you get somebody's rear end because they're facing their back to you, or how do you handle situations like that?
Well, first, if you're in a situation where you see that you don't like the background, you can tell your subjects to move, shift, okay, to your left or to your right, or you can move, or you can see if the background is moving background. Let's say it's waiters, in a busy restaurant, you can let them pass before you take the picture. If it's not moving, let's say it's this tree here, you might tell the individual, you know what, I don't want you to be like, if I sat like this and you took a picture of me, you just get the tree sticking out of my head, which wouldn't be very attractive, and wouldn't be the best for your subject. So you might want to shift and say, can you move to your, move over like one step to your right, and so this way now it's a better picture.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. Does anybody else have any questions? If not, we'd like to thank you, Karen, for this interactive and fun workshop. I hope everyone enjoyed learning about photography tonight and use some of the tools for your next holiday celebrations. Before we finish up, I'd like to invite everyone to turn on your video so we can take our group photograph. This is a way for us to celebrate with all of you our 17th birthday. So I'm gonna pass it over to Alyssa so she could let us know what to do.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. If you'd like to participate in this photo, we're going to take this moment to allow everyone to turn on their videos. If you don't want to participate, you may also turn your videos off. Are we ready, everyone?
I think Karen's missing
We're
right
just waiting on Karen.
now. Okay.
What's up? So I know that it's Cam's 17th birthday, and so I have a cake from the Chinatown Ice Cream Factory.
Oh,
Thank you
I
for
want to
making
be
this
there.
cake. I hope you guys can see it.
Nope. Can we see it?
Is it showing up on your shared screen?
Can we spotlight Karen again?
Here we go.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Cam.
Thank
Happy
you, Karen.
birthday.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
I think I went
right.
there with you guys.
Wonderful.
Are you ready to take the photo?
Okay.
So Karen, you need to be in the photograph too. Be next to the cake.
All right.
All right. I'll count down. 3, 2, 1. One more. 3, 2, 1. And we're good. I'll pass it back to Michael now.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you again, Karen, for joining us today. And we're so happy to celebrate our 17th anniversary and our birthday with all of you today. Please stay tuned and stay up to date with the Chinese American Museum by following us on social media. We have some exciting programs in store for 2021. Please save the date for January 12th to tune in for the second installment of Tea Talk with Tea Master Yoon Hee Kim. We'll also be continuing our partnership with the Chinatown Branch Library to present the Kids Storytime series. Keep an eye out for the upcoming dates. On behalf of the Chinese American Museum's board and staff, we want to thank all of you for participating and for helping us celebrate our 17th birthday. Have a great evening and thank you so much. And once again, thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Go.
Happy
Thank you, everyone.
birthday.
Thank you,
Thank you
Cam.
so much.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Bye,
birthday.
Karen. Miss you.
Miss you too. Happy birthday.